So today's video is going to be another celebratory video because I'm super excited that I have gained 150 subscribers. So to all those people that have recently joined my channel, thank you so much for choosing to subscribe to me. And for all those people that have been watching for a while now, thank you so much for continuing to enjoy my content. So as a little celebration for yay 150 subscribers, I thought that I would do one of those videos where I share some facts about myself. Now, I've come to the decision that I'm going to share 15 facts with you, and the way that I did that is basically I said 150 subscribers. If you write that out, you take the 0 off, in other words divide by 10, you get 15. So that's what we're going to go with. So, fact number 1. My partner Rowan and I sort of have a little blended fur family, because when we first got together he had 2 cats, Peanut and Pistachio, and I had 1 cat, Shade, and so now they are our little blended fur family. Pistachio and Peanut are great, they get along really well, they're sisters, so they've always been together. Peanut and Shade get along pretty okay. Occasionally they have a little bit of a ruckus, but mostly they hang out and they're fine, and they actually hung out in our little cat run that Rowan built off the back of the house quite often. Shade and Pistachio, on the other hand, not so much. They basically are both alpha cats, and in fact I don't know whether you would have just heard the little noises going on in the background, but that was them chasing each other. I think they're kind of trying to play, but Shade is a very interesting cat and she doesn't really know how to play properly, so she tries to play and then she gets upset and then she hisses and screams. Pistachio doesn't take that very well, whereas Peanut tends to just kind of back away and ignore the situation. Fact number 2 is about me as a very small infant. When I was a baby, I learnt to crawl backwards before I learnt to crawl forwards. So my parents would put me in the middle of the room and I would crawl backwards and get stuck in a corner and then cry till they moved me into the middle of the room again. Don't know how long this went on for, but long enough that it's a story that gets told fairly often at family gatherings. So there's that one. Another fact about me from when I was a child, which I was a toddler for this one, also kind of embarrassing, but I was afraid of flies. And my mum loves to tell the story of one day when my sister, who was 2 years younger than me, was probably 3 or 4 months old, was lying in her cot or her crib, and there were some flies circling the light in the middle of the room, and I was trying to comfort my sister by putting my hands over my head and crouching down and backing away, whilst at the same time telling her that it was absolutely okay and the flies weren't going to hurt her. Obviously really effective, and I clearly believed everything I said. I've actually written down a number of facts here. So fact number 4, I have 1 undergraduate degree and 3 postgraduate qualifications. Apparently I'm a sucker for punishment. So my undergrad degree is in humanities, specifically classics with a minor in English literature, and my postgraduate studies are honours in classics, and then a master's degree in teaching, and then a graduate certificate in early childhood. Fact number 5, I was born in Sydney. Fact number 6, I moved to Tasmania in 2011 because I wanted to go back to university to get the Masters of Teaching, and it just didn't really work to live in Sydney because I couldn't have lived on Austudy. I would have had to do part-time, and I hated the job that I had at the time, so I really just wanted to get out of there. So I decided to move to Tasmania where things were a lot cheaper, and my parents had moved to Tasmania many years before, and so I was able to move back in with them, which was when I was 31. Where are we? Fact number 7, I lived in the UK for 3 years. I used to work as a live-in care worker for elderly people and people with disabilities that needed home support. I did that for about 1.5 years, and then for the other 1.5 years I lived and worked in London. So yeah, it was really fun. I had a great time. Leading me to fact number 8. I didn't actually go to Scotland while I lived in England, which I regret rather a lot. I did go to Wales, I did go to Ireland, although I only went to Dublin. But yeah, I just never quite got to Scotland, so still on the bucket list. Fact number 9, my favourite flowers are Gerbera daisies and carnations. Fact number 10, I didn't get my licence until I was in my mid-30s. Mostly, I didn't get my licence because I was one of the younger people in my class in high school, and while everyone was getting their licence, I was too young. And then the next year, when most of the people had already got their licence, was our higher school certificate, which is the equivalent of A-levels, and it was just, there was too much going on. I didn't particularly want to do it then, and also my very kind friends were willing to drive me around. And then I just lived in lots of different places that it didn't really need to drive. So when I moved to Tasmania, Tasmania is a driving place, so you can get by, but not very easily, so I got my licence. Fact number 11, when I was 18 years old, I cracked my rib by coughing. I had a cold, apparently I coughed too hard, cracked a rib. Had no idea at that point that you could do something like that, but apparently it's actually fairly common, so there you go. Another thing that didn't happen until I was a lot later than probably most people is that I didn't get a mobile phone until I was 23, because I was born in the 80s. I was born in 1980 to be exact. And mobile phones just weren't a thing when I was a teenager, let alone when I was in primary school. They started being a thing when I was probably like 18, 19, and I was like, no, I do not want a mobile phone. I do not think that's a good idea. Got one when I was 23 and never looked back. Got a smartphone when I was 31, had moved to Tasmania. Took me quite a while to decide to do that as well. Again, never looked back. Fact number 13, I love cheese. I love cheese. I could eat cheese in every meal. I know it probably wouldn't go in every meal, but I could have it on the side. But then I'd be humongous and probably not very well, so I don't do that. I like most cheeses. I'm not a huge fan of blue cheese, but otherwise, I like most cheeses. 2 more facts to go. Fact number 14, I have 2 younger sisters. One is 2 years younger than me, as I said, and one is 10 years younger than me. So I was kind of trying to be a little mama, I think, when I was a 10-year-old. And finally, when I was very, very little, I used to want to be a ballerina, but we could never afford lessons, so I've actually never had a dancing lesson. Well, that's not true. I had swing dancing lessons when I was in my 30s, again when I moved to Tasmania, but before that I'd never actually had a dancing lesson, so my ballerina dreams never came to fruition. Don't actually regret that at all. And that's it for my video today. Like I said, it's just a little short video that I thought would be a fun thing to do to celebrate 150 of you subscribed. So once again, thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.